45 that are not married. Is it easy for them?
You saw that I rolled my eyes.
Well,
Men do not have an issue.
I don't agree.
They don't.
I refuse.
I
But
don't, man.
are you sure?
And they will still give.
But encourage men that are older and trusting God to get married. Say
That's
something to them.
different. No, we're talking about women that.
Now, what about men? Wait, this is
Well, we'll
this is
talk to the
complete.
men later. When you're ready, you get married.
If you're like 40 or you're old, mature man, you're ready to get married, let me just give an encouragement. Go and get married. Stop that. I think we should be careful that religion does not hinder our lives. Some ladies that want this want companionship, and you don't want to live like an immoral life, like going from one man to the other. So they want a child somebody to nurture, somebody to care for. Now, the question now is, how do I go about this holy desire? Adoption is not a bad idea. Okay, I can adopt a child and care for the child. Already, the child you're adopting is maybe an orphanage. There's no father, there's even no mother in that sense. So you adopting that child is even a plus for the child and a plus for you. Surrogacy is another option. Another option. Now, like what Bimbo was just saying is, just consider the fullness of it in the sense of, okay, this child, what can I do for this child to have a complete experience? Yeah, because even us that we speak, some of us didn't have complete experience. Some of us grew up in broken homes, separated homes, and God really helped. So we can't say because there's no father figure, a woman shouldn't be able to take care of a child. But I would love anyone considering that to be aware that, oh, this child might need like a father figure in his or her life. And really, if we are conscious of that, there are responsible, fathers are around. It could be your brother, it could be a friend in a decent way that can provide that for a child. But I think I don't think people should shy away from taking those steps. Just look at the long-term effect. And if a man shows up, now this is where your motive will be revealed. Yeah. If a man shows up, if all you are thinking about the self, and then a man now shows up and says, okay, I want to marry you, but you have to do it with these children or these two kids, and then you now, without even thinking, just shove them away, then that means your motive wasn't right at the outset.
So I remember we were talking about a situation, this is real life, where this is not a case of, single, mature woman. Well, she had a child outside of marriage, she got pregnant and had this child, and then she got married. Okay. Right, afterwards. Now, the husband accepted the child.
Yes.
And everything was good. But, so it looked like at the beginning stage, it was fine. The husband accepted the child. But when she became pregnant and had the husband and had her own, his own child, everything changed.
Yeah, that happened.
And this was after a number of years because the son was already in secondary school, boarding house. And before the child came, their own child came, he was there, he was doing his part. But once they had their own child, everything changed. The boy was the child was neglected. He didn't pay the child attention, and it's now a case of the woman. There's pain that this is my child, and because in this particular situation, the woman is not around, so it's the man that is in the country, and the woman is believing that you have two children, you don't just have one. But of course, for a man, it plays both ways. It's not so easy. Yeah. So now the marriage is in turmoil because the woman can't take it. The child is being neglected in school. There's nobody to take care of the child, and so it's a situation where we really need to consider the consequences.
I think I have a story like that too. That I did stories like that as a pastor, and sometimes you want to say maybe it's unfair, well, but I think some things just happen. You are caring for that child, and then your own child now shows up, and you now begin to. I think it's unfair, but those are the realities that um, ladies that are towing this path should also be aware that it happens.
Yeah.
It happens the moment the man has his own child, boy or girl. So what preparations can you make? That this story, the one I'm presently aware of, I can't really completely blame the man because the other child, the dad is still alive and still reaches out to him. So you can't blame the man so much. In fact, he spends time with that dad at times during holidays. So he's been doing his best, but he can't, I mean, it's a different thing the man had died. The lady in question should do more because you are the one that brought, in quote, the child into the marriage. You might need to do more in terms of readiness to adapt, readiness to ensure that that child's life is not, because you can't really dictate how a man will not behave on the long run. What if he changes? Does it not mean that child's life is wrecked? No. You must be ready for that. Yeah, it's okay to be aware. It's okay for the man to show love at the beginning stages. But what if he changes? So that awareness has to be there. And you have to do more because sometimes you want to put yourself in the shoes of the man too, right? Especially if the dad is still alive and still involved one way or the other in the care of that child. It's not easy for men. Men can be very territorial. But for those listening, I think it's unfair on that child. I think we should put the child first and then drop all our cultural baggage. It's not my own biological child. What is biological child in that sense? If the child calls you father, calls you daddy, then be responsible with that. And woman too, don't overdo. I've seen cases where it's a woman that's over pushing, over demanding, and that pisses a man off. Yeah, I've seen that. Just want to like shove the child off the throat of that man that is our child. No, don't calm down.
Looking at it from another perspective of, so what if a man doesn't even show up? So we've been talking about the fact that maybe a man may show up, but what if a man doesn't show up? So we need to help people even understand that, you know what, it's rampant now. People are thinking about it.
Yeah.
In fact, medical professionals, doctors, sometimes advise older single women to freeze their eggs and things like that medically. So I think that we need to become more sensitive to people, and ladies especially in this category. If a lady decides to do that, we shouldn't judge her. We are not in their shoes. However, sometimes if a man doesn't show up, we should rally around them as friends. So if you have a friend or a sister or someone in your life that made that decision, and you're a man, and the man doesn't show up as a husband, you can become a father figure. You can help with the child. You can be an uncle to the child. You can parent, Yeah. So we need to start thinking in that light.
Yeah.
That if
those are the realities now. But we're talking about ladies. What about men that are 45 that are not married? Is it easy for them?
You saw that I rolled my eyes.
What about that?
Men do not have an issue.
I don't agree.
They don't.
I refuse.
Men can wake up in whatever age, 60, 70, 80, and decide to marry an 18-year-old adult woman.
Are you sure?
And they will also give.
But encourage men that are older and trusting God to get married. Say something to them.
No, we're talking about women that.
What about men? This is
we'll talk to the men later. When you're ready, you get married. I'm sorry.
Okay, thank you, guys. We'll see you next episode. Or any man that is trusting God to get married, let me just say something to you. If you're like 40 or you're old, mature man, you're ready to get married, let me just give an encouragement. Go and get married. Stop that.